All right, guys, welcome to the Tim Lauer Podcast, where we talk about all things small business, entrepreneurship, politics, local and national, that affect you right here in Baldwin County. Today we got our guest, Shalira Taylor. She is the regional director for the Alabama State Republican Party. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tim. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Shalira?
So, as you said, I'm the regional director for the Alabama State Republican Party, and I've been in politics since 2015.
Okay.
Technically, I started in 2008, but we're not going to talk about the Obama years because I was duped into that,
I gotcha.
So I started in politics 2015 when I decided to run for a state representative back at home in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm from Cleveland.
Nice.
And I wanted to make a change, so I decided to run for office. And I was thrown right in, and with the Trump era and everything, it's an amazing time coming into politics at that time.
I bet.
Yeah.
So cool. So Cleveland, is that still your home base?
That is still my home base.
Okay. Awesome.
Cleveland is my
great
home.
area.
Yep.
So what brings you to Alabama?
Make and keep Alabama great.
That's right.
That's it. That's what I'm here to do.
Awesome. So what is your role as the regional director?
My role is to help get out to vote.
Okay.
So even though Alabama is a pretty strong Republican voting state, we have low voter turnout, right?
Yes, we do.
So
we do.
Just encouraging Republicans to go out and vote. So make sure Republicans go out and vote. And you guys have to vote in August. You guys have to vote in November.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my role.
Yeah. So I think in this last election, we had, I want to say it was 24 or 26% of the registered voters come out and vote. And then now we have a runoff, and this will air after the runoff. But my projection is that we have somewhere around 8% show up. I think
lower
will be that projection. So it is important that people get out to vote. And I think as voter turnout's low, your vote counts even more. Your vote always counts, right? Especially in Alabama, we have voter ID and different things, but it counts even more when that percentage goes down.
Correct.
Yeah. So what are some things that you're doing to drive voter turnout and voter registration?
So we have a lot of women's groups, both in Baldwin County and Mobile County.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Young Republicans. There's so many active conservative groups in both of these counties, and they're all kind of doing their own thing. So my job is to kind of wrangle in all the groups and make sure we're all on the same page. We have an app that we use to knock doors. So voter engagement, door to door, is one of our major focuses. Grassroots kind of going to different events, making sure people are registered to vote. But like I said, the technology that we have with this app called Votive is A1. We're registering people to vote through that. We have a list of new people who just moved into the county.
Okay.
And as you know, it's a growing county.
Oh, yeah.
You guys went from like 100,000 people to 300,000 people.
The word is out. Baldwin County is a great place to live.
It is. I lived in Fairhope.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
I love Fairhope.
What was your experience coming to Alabama from Cleveland?
So at first, I didn't know what to expect, but once I got here, I absolutely love Alabama. I've worked all over the country, so I've worked in California, I've worked in Florida. My top favorite place before I got to Alabama was Key West.
Okay.
So believe it or not, you guys are beating out Key West.
Wow. Have you got a chance to visit our beaches here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do those compare?
Beach. I like the beach. Well, I did like Pensacola, even though that's not Alabama.
Right.
But, the pretty white beaches there. You guys have some pretty white beaches in Alabama. And I never knew. You never know.
Never know.
It's like a tropical
People like beaches in Alabama.
Yeah, it's like a tropical jungle here or something. Like it's not. I don't know what I thought the South was, but I didn't think it was like Brazil, basically.
Okay, nice. How about your experiences with the people here?
Oh, everyone's been great. It's very nice.
Awesome.
Someone just bought me food the other day.
Okay.
The guy was like, I never tried the dip. I come here all the time. I'm like, you want some of my dip? He tried my dip, and he was like, thank you. And then he paid for my food. He was like, you didn't have to give me. I was like, thank you. And he was like, you didn't have to give me any of your dip. So I guess sharing is caring.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And you're over in Fairhope, so great area.
Yes.
It's easy for you to bounce from Mobile to Baldwin County.
No, that's not easy.
No.
You know it's not easy going
like
across the causeway.
It's like two different worlds.
Yeah, or traffic.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother world.
Yeah. So why is it so important for you to get involved with? Why was it so important for you to get involved in politics?
So I saw a decline or a difference in my city, and I wanted to kind of be involved in making sure that we weren't declining. And I didn't know exactly where to start. I didn't have anyone that was in politics in my family. I didn't come from a political family or anything like that. So I kind of just went out on my own into the world to figure out what was going on. And come to find out, of course, it's politics. You know, it's your city council. I mean, especially your local candidates and your local politicians are really your most important. So
that's right.
You know, I believe
that's
you're on city council, right? Yeah, you're in charge of the roads, the schools, the police department. So when you kind of see that there's a difference because I grew up in Cleveland Heights, right? So Cleveland Heights is a suburb of Cleveland. And when I moved to Cleveland, because I bought a house in Cleveland, and when I moved to Cleveland, I just saw that there was a unique difference between the two places that I grew up. And it wasn't color or race or religion or anything like that, because it was the same colors and races in the same area. So I'm like, what's going on? And of course, one's a more conservative location and the other one is more of a non-conservative location. Gotcha. So, you know, like, we're going to just say the Dems are in charge and they're ruining our city.
Wow.
I can't put it any other way. So I wanted to make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. How come you think it is a lot of people don't see that difference or realize it's happening?
I think it's been a long time since we had that civics class, like in fourth grade or whenever we had it.
Yeah.
So we always look at the top, the president, as if he has something to do with our roads or our schools, right? So I think we look over the fact of the people who are actually in charge of what really affects us on our day-to-day basis. And if we knew better, I think we would do a lot better. And like I said, you know, picking your city council or voting in the primary so you can have the candidate that you really want in the general election is important too. So I think just staying involved. And I know it's hard. We have an election every year, and this year we have 4 elections. We'll have 4 elections.
This is like, the election, the runoff, we move the congressional election, and then we have the big one in November.
Correct.
So, so a lot, summer of politics.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct. And so I just think that people have other things that they're worried about. You know, they have to worry about paying bills and going to work and getting the kids dressed, and they don't have time to sit down and try to figure out what the Supreme Court is doing every day, or what your city council person is doing every day, or your mayor. And I know it's a little difficult, but that's really who's in charge and who's affecting your day to day.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you're not just involved. I mean, you're not just paying attention to what's going on. You're heavily involved with politics.
Correct.
in all different areas, Cleveland, Florida, California, now Alabama. What's some of the hardest conversations you have around politics?
Well, me being a Black Republican, Black conservative, I think that's probably the hardest conversation. Explaining to people that a lot of the Democrat policies and laws that have been passed have not been in favor of the Black community, have not helped the Black community, and just trying to get people to really understand and see that that's not really the party for us.
Sure.
And explaining and having to go through from 1856 and how the Republican Party was prominent in 1856 and helped Black people from then to now, from President Trump and the opportunity zones and, making sure police officers are certified and just he even funded the HBCU schools. So it's it's still an ongoing support from the Republican Party for, the Black community, but it's not televised. Like, it's not broadcasted as much as what Trump tweeted the night before or something like that.
And that's a lot of spin from the media.
Yeah.
For sure. So how do you think those conversations are going? Are you doing you feeling like there's a lot of eye-opening conversations you're having and changes as a result of it?
So whenever I do have conversations, because everything's, you can Google it. So whenever I do have conversations, people do go and they do their research, or if they're open-minded, like most people are, they listen and they say, well, I didn't know that. And then they'll go and they'll look. And that's what we want people to do, is go and encourage people to go and do your own research, figure out who's really on your side, right?
Yeah.
And back home, so one of my favorite things is to talk about this guy, named JD Vance.
Okay.
He ran for Senate at home in Cuyahoga County, in the state of Ohio. So I live in Cuyahoga County, and we had a few judges, and we had Senator JD Vance. He was just a candidate then at the time running for office, and I was running for state representative. And I said, hey, let's all get together and work together and engage these particular two communities that the Republican Party said will never win.
Yeah.
They'll never vote for us.
Sure.
They don't want to hear it from us, right? And predominantly Black. So Garfield Heights and Maple Heights. And we went out.
Wow.
And we engaged them.
Yeah.
And they voted straight ticket Republican down.
Wow.
The state party said, how did you guys do this? In the sea of blue, there's the specks of red.
Yeah.
Precincts that just voted for Republicans, straight down ticket. And I said, if you engage them and tell them what you plan to do, the policies that you support, everyone said yes. We like that idea. We like the idea of school choice. We never heard that before.
Sure.
We like the idea of, being able to carry our guns freely, because we have open carry now in Ohio. Or just at one point, another suburb, which was Shaker Heights, had 6 abortion clinics on one street.
Wow.
Like, it was just ridiculous. I mean, between me and the pro-life people, I was out there protesting and stuff too. We've gotten, I believe, all of them, but maybe one. I think preterm is still might be open.
Wow.
But we got them all shut down.
Wow.
And people disagree with that too. Why do you need so many right here in one area? So it's just like I said, a lot of the policies and the legislation in which that the conservatives in my community were supporting, the community supported it too. The only issue is that they didn't know. No one knocked on their door and said, hey, this is what we stand for. Vote for us. And when we did, they voted for us.
Yeah. Awesome. It's no wonder that they chose you to come down here to Alabama and help keep Alabama red.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did that spark? Well, how did that start?
So, one, I put my resume out there in the world, so it's just floating around.
Sure.
But a good friend of mine, Richard Holt, he was the state director for Alabama state GOP.
Yep.
And so they called me. He was like, "Hey, I have a few people." I was part of a pile of resumes, and I spoke with Shannon. She is the director there at the state GOP, and she liked me. I liked her. It was like a pretty cool, nice, relaxed interview. Nothing crazy. And then I came out. They said, "Well, before we hire you, we want you to come and see Alabama."
Okay.
And
yeah.
so I flew out, and I was like, "This place is pretty cool. I'd like to kind of experience a little more of it." And so they were like, "Okay, cool."
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you came in and you hit the ground running. You had a meeting with the executive committee. You've been out to a lot of the women's groups and events. And I know during the election, during this primary, obviously we all support all the Republicans and then fall behind the winners, right?
Correct.
So I know after this runoff, you're going to be hitting the ground running as far as voter registration, outreach, everything else. So what are some things listeners can do to help?
So if you'd like to volunteer, because we need volunteers, we need as many conservatives that would love to go out and talk about the party and why it's so great and why we should keep, Alabama red. You could text me. I'll send you a link so you can sign up to be a volunteer. You can help knock doors. You can help make phone calls. You can host parties and events if you like to. All of our candidates are still going around shaking hands and kissing babies.
That's right.
And so if you like to host one of your communities, we call them block parties. You can have a block party.
Nice.
Anything that you think that would get out to vote, call and text your friends and your family and tell them to go vote. Make sure that they're registered to vote. If you have a new 17-year-old that will be 18 by the time, I think it's August 11th, I think you can still register.
Right, yeah.
October 19th. I think you can still register to vote for the November general election. So that's what we need. So we need volunteers. Looking for some great volunteers. That's it.
Awesome. Well, getting involved with this is a lot of work. What is it that keeps you motivated and going forward?
Well, this is my home. This is almost like cleaning house.
Yeah.
So I look at it as it's a necessity. You want to live in a nice, clean environment. So it's basically like cleaning house. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you get to sit back and kick your feet up in a nice, clean house.
See all the benefits from
and
it.
See all the benefits.
Yeah, getting the right folks involved. Were you at were you one of Trump's delegates?
Yes, I was.
Awesome. How was that experience?
It was amazing.
Yeah?
It was amazing. So, again, I started politics in 2015, and going into 2016, I didn't realize that the RNC was going to be in Cleveland.
Okay, yep.
And so I wasn't a delegate at that time, but I got to attend the RNC, which I thought was one of the most amazing things ever. I don't know how people do it. We went to session, right? And then after that, we had dinners, we had after parties, and then we were back on Media Row at like 7 a.m. We didn't sleep. It was ongoing. It was an amazing time. I walked into the RNC in 2016. With Don King.
Okay. Wow.
Holding hands with Don King.
Okay.
It's just amazing, an amazing time.
Cool.
So coming back around 2024, I was elected to be a delegate
Nice.
for my District 11 at the time, and drove to Wisconsin, which I have driven through Wisconsin before to go work in Washington State. And it was my first time staying in Wisconsin. And we stayed on a nice resort. It was very nice and peaceful, besides when we had our parties and our fireworks.
Okay.
And got to meet some other great delegates from Texas. And I was on the floor and ended up on CNN, and people were texting you like, "You're on the news." And I think it's a great experience.
I can imagine.
Yep.
I can imagine. And there was a lot of cool guests that came to that. Was there any favorite?
Yeah, my favorite out of all was Hulk Hogan.
Really?
We didn't know he was coming. I think I almost lost my mind, right? Because I grew up, I was born in 81, so I grew up with WrestleMania, with,
All the
McMahon,
classic ones,
and,
yeah.
The Undertaker was like my favorite.
That's when wrestling was real.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. And so to see Hulk Hogan come out, and we're losing our minds. We're like, oh yeah, and he rips his shirt, and it's a "Make America Great" shirt. I mean, you couldn't write it any better. So
That's right.
He was my absolute favorite guest.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So important what you're doing over here in Alabama. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming down and helping get out the word with voter registration, voter drive, everything else. I know you mentioned before, what are ways people can contact you?
So just my phone number is 216-355-7054. I'll give it one more time. They say you're supposed to give it twice, right? 216-355-7054. If you shoot me a quick text and your first name, last name, say that you're interested in volunteering, I'll send you a volunteer link and you can sign up. And then from there, we'll get you signed up on the app. We'll get you to a Super Saturdays, so soon we'll be having these Super Saturdays where we get everyone together.
Awesome.
And then show you guys how to use the app. And then we will have Slate cards as well too. So
nice.
Me being in marketing and also being in politics for some time, as you know, no matter how many times we tell you what candidates are on there, you can't remember every candidate. You can't remember every issue. So we're going to have these little, we call cheat sheets to help out with that. So we'll list statewide all the way down to local.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. What type of events? I know you want to get out and check out some events or, have a tent out there or just attend. What type of events are you looking for?
So any events that people are going to be at.
Okay, nice.
If you're breathing, you're walking, and over 18, we want to see you.
Okay, awesome.
And we
That's
want to
great.
make sure you're registered to vote.
Awesome.
And we want to make sure that you're going to be voting for our guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. This weekend, I believe we have the Lemon Drop Fest.
Okay, nice.
I think it's the second annual Lemon Drop Fest. I said that sounds like a good time. It's supposed to be a lot of people there, and we're going to go and get those guys registered to vote.
Okay.
That aren't, and encourage those that are registered to come out and vote for us.
Okay, awesome. So if you got an event out there, text Shalira. She wants to check it out.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you for everything you're doing. And if there's anything we could do to help, let us know. And thank you for being on the show today,
It's my
Shalira.
pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.